Utah's best coverage of the Utes, Cougars, Jazz, and Mammoth. Here we go. From the guys who have been there for all the biggest moments in Utah sports history. You're listening to DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nominate the youth sports volunteer that you know for the Hercules Hero of the Week. Submit your nomination at KSLSports.com/contest and listen every Thursday afternoon to JJ and Alex for the winner. Help us celebrate the efforts of those volunteers making an impact with the Hercules Hero of the Week. Sponsored by Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals. Football season, PK, winding down, but there's a little news here and there. The NFL's got 3 weeks left. Miami's eliminated. Tua Tagovailoa is coming off a lousy performance at Pittsburgh. They got nowhere to go. They got a couple of young quarterbacks they could take a look at. So they are benching Tua Tagovailoa, who really struggled in the first 3 quarters in Pittsburgh. It did not go well there at all. 6 of 10 for 65 yards with an interception in 3 quarters. So he's sitting, but Zach Wilson isn't getting the start. They're going with Quinn Ewers, 7th-round draft pick, a rookie.
That stings for Zach and Zach's fans for sure. Yeah, I was hoping it would have been him. We get to see him play, but no.
Well, there's 3 games left. Let's see how it goes for Quinn Ewers. Maybe there's still a chance to get out there.
Yeah, but I don't know. You can put him out there and expect him to walk on water in the first game. If you're going to play him, you got to play him. So with that in mind, this doesn't look good for Zach and his future in Miami or maybe the league.
Mitch Harper covering BYU for KSLSports.com says the BYU and Cal, their series, 2-game series has been canceled after the ACC went from 8 conference games to 9 conference games. So BYU now needs a game for September 12th next season.
Yeah, that's what SMU had said with this increase in conference games, that they had to put the Baylor series on hold, and they'll look to try something down the line maybe. Obviously, 2 in-state teams there in Texas, so that is going to be an intended consequence of the league's decision to increase the games. Now, it's not for everybody. Some of there's like 4 teams are playing 8. I mean, they announced it yesterday.
Yep.
It seems awfully screwy to
and
me.
They'll always have to be one that plays 8 because they got 15 teams.
I thought that's 17.
And because they have 17 teams.
Is what they were saying. But the point being, they have an odd number.
They have an odd number. Yeah. So there'll always be one team playing 8.
Don't the Utes want to join the ACC? What do they want?
No, I think that'd be the Big Ten.
Oh, the Big Ten. I get those 2 conferences confused.
I don't think you do.
So, yeah.
Well, maybe BYU will get fortunate and find a good game because other schools will be dropping games, but the dates have to line up.
Ohio State.
We'll see. I think Michigan State maybe is a team that might get cut loose in all of this if you want a Big Ten opponent. But I don't know if the dates line up and do they want to play you or are they going to go find a bye game? So,
play Utah twice. Like the Pac-12 did
Oregon
last
State
year.
and Washington State played a home and home last year to fill out that November schedule.
And didn't one year when BYU was independent, didn't they have to play New Mexico State twice? Didn't they have a home and home?
They definitely played down there. I can't remember if it was if they played in the same season or consecutive years. I definitely remember a game down there. They threw the ball. I'm trying to think who the quarterback was.
James Lark.
Oh, was it Lark?
Yeah.
Came in and lit it up?
Yeah. And like his only significant playing time of his entire college career. Yeah, right. I think that's who it was. So with that in mind, yeah, that's something that they're going to have to do. I just wish they would move towards more in as much uniformity as possible. The stakes are too high to have it scattered, but they don't want to do it. Actually, I get reducing a position, reducing the commissioners, but maybe just put somebody above them so you have like league presidents and you still have someone or somebody, not body being plural, that is above the commissioners.
The 4 conference commissioners get together. It's like a joint chiefs of staff thing with the Pentagon.
Heads of the 4 conferences.
That's right. And then they rotate. And you're on a committee, and you're the chair of the committee for 2 or 3 years or something.
Yeah, but you're going to always do something that's in your best interest.
Yep. Scheduling is inching towards uniformity. Everybody plays 9 conference games now, and 3 of the 4 power leagues are requiring a 10th game against a Power 5 opponent. The Big Ten is the outlier in that. They're the ones who haven't said, you got to play a 10th big-time game. I mean, some of the teams do. Ohio State just signed that home and home with Texas, obviously, and just played them in the opener.
Oh, and they have.
So some schools are doing it,
yeah,
but many schools are not.
But the steady diets of Akrons and all this stuff.
Beating up on the MAC doesn't prove much.
Yeah, it just becomes
but they
boring.
They want 7 or 8 home games, and they want wins, so they do it. But I'm with you, it's boring. And I think that's where, for as heavy a hand as the TV networks can have at times, that's a place where you'd think that the Big Ten has deals with Fox, and Fox has sublicensed it to CBS and NBC and sells those two networks games, and they'll all be like, more good games, please. Schedule somebody. Let's do something interesting.
Right.
The country doesn't want to watch Ohio State pound, Toledo or Bowling Green or whoever.
Oh, no. Being a Ohio State fan, it's like wake me up in November.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is just a snooze fest. Maybe a game, maybe 2 games, and then you're going to win. It's like when BYU, Utah, and TCU were dominating the Mountain West. I mean, all those other teams, It was just from a competitive standpoint, it's like, oh, my gosh, this is pretty boring. I mean, we pretty much know how much is it going to be. We don't know that, but we know who's going to win, and that becomes, I'd much rather go to the stadium and
not know
the outcome.
How many Ohio State games this year were decided by 17 points or less?
Oh, I would say 10. Oh, I thought it said or more.
I see where you're going, though. You were close. Of their 13 games, 11 were decided by 18 or more.
Yeah.
2 were decided by 17 or less. They lost the three-pointer to Indiana in the Big Ten title game and the season opener against Texas, 14-7.
14-7, yeah. I would like some competition. I mean, that's got to be, if you're a fan, I mean, if you know you're going to win and win big, why bother? It's a complete and total mismatch. And that, to me, I was just talking with a U of A fan saying, it's more fun when both teams are good.
Mm-hmm.
Just to watch lopsided competition.
Yeah. If you bought season tickets at Ohio State, they had 7 home games this year. There were 2 of them that were interesting and 5 of them that you absolutely knew they were going to win.
Yeah, and so then you have fans not going. They sell them.
Yep.
And then you have other fans, I can get a ticket.
This is one
game.
Yeah, I go to one game a year, and I can buy a ticket to see the Minnesota game.
Right.
Because I know, or Rutgers or UCLA.
Right.
Those games aren't going to be good. They had Penn State and Texas. There had to be some anticipation for those 2 games. But other than that.
Yes, and I was down in where I lived in the South Bay in L.A. area that game because the Utes were playing in the Rose Bowl that night and got down there early. And sure enough, there was a couple of Hermosa there. They've got seats that come outside. They've cordoned off the area years ago. Used to be a street. Now you can have an outside seating. And the place was packed. The place was packed with Buckeye fans. And I told the story. You park up by Sepulveda where you can get free parking if you get there early enough. And I know it's kind of off the path, but I know it because I live down there. And then you walk down, and when you walk down, you can't see the place, but you could hear the noise.
Yeah.
And I was with some friends. They said, what's that? I said, well, that's either an Ohio State or a Texas-dominated bar. And then when we got into the vision of it, it was Ohio State. And they were...
But it's just too much noise in that neighborhood for it to be anything else.
Right, at that time of morning.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And so my point is, if they're playing Chico State... is that place going to be packed like it was? Businesses probably want it too.
Yeah, you're right. Businesses do want it too.
To have that. And I suppose, from the TV perspective, that's the difference. The stadiums are going to be sold out. And I saw a thing on the budgets that the teams with the highest budgets are the ones that are largely into the playoff this year. It's what Kyle Whittingham said
a long time ago, right? Yeah.
And that's what it's going to be. And I wonder, the game is more popular than ever. Dillingham was talking about that just the other day, and he's right. But I wonder how long it'll stay. And especially if you have others just drop off. Like there's a lot of people I saw on social media, if ASU's their management, president, but if they don't give Dillingham what he wants and he leaves, they're out. And I get that because he was the breath of fresh air, and you finally got somebody who's one of your own, and has a chance to get 20 wins in 2 years. You take that from that program. That hasn't done that since the 70s. And Frank Kush, that's a long time ago, man. That's 50 years. And so he has an opportunity if they win the bowl game to get that, to write on the button 20. And so you take it, wow, that's a real good building block. But if he takes off and leaves because, hey, I want to stay here. I've told people I want to stay here. I've told them 25 times I want to stay here. But if they don't give me the money, I also want to win. That's what Kalani Sitake was saying when he said, yeah, but I'm a competitor, meaning they had to give me the money that we need to be competitive.
Right. There's that, and there's also, if you don't give me the money, everyone else is going to keep accelerating. I'm going to get beat, and you're going to fire me. And I am not going to stick around to have you not support me and then fire me because you think I don't win enough. Not painting myself into that corner.
I don't know that that's going to happen.
Ooh. I think the money's going to keep accelerating. I
think but
get going, or
their money will keep accelerating. So I don't know that they would ever fire a coach who won 7-8 games every year.
Got to get down to 5 or 6. That's what does people in.
Right.
It's the 5 and 6.
Yeah. If you're going to be a program like that, which hasn't done much consistently, literally in the 50 years, if you're playing for a shot at the playoff or to get to the conference title game in November, does that guy get fired? I mean, who are you going to get that's going to be any better? That's what we asked with Penn State. Okay, you got Campbell, and Campbell's a nice coach, but is he going to be better than Franklin?
We do not know.
I wouldn't think so, unless they turn around and gave him way more money to run the program. Now, they're going to be good, but are you going to be what you're looking for? Are you going to be Ohio State? Because that's the goal, is to be Ohio State. No. But you're going to be really good.
Yeah, and with the new bigger league now, are you going to be 6th? I mean, I wouldn't think that Penn State would ever fall to the bottom because you're going to be good. But USC, Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana is apparently in the mix for the foreseeable future. It's like they were unhappy being 2nd or 3rd in the conference, but there's no guarantee they're going to stay 2nd or 3rd in the conference, as they found out this year. Now, this year, maybe extreme outlier, but nonetheless, I mean, how many of those teams are going to play? They don't play each other.
Yeah, but at the same time, they needed a toe and the final seconds to lose to Indiana.
Yeah.
So how far off were they? And Indiana's all that. And there was a remarkable play in the back of the end zone. Literally a big toe.
Right.
That got down.
Got to zoom in to see it.
Yeah.
And they did. Thank goodness for technology.
So he didn't need technology, man. The referee called it live.
Yes, you're right.
And good for him. He was standing right there. He saw, boom, raised his hands, touchdown. And then it turns out, I'm thinking, wow, man, that's really close. I was watching it.
Because it was really close.
And literally as close as you can be.
That's when the technology came in. They zoomed in and showed you the ref got it right.
Yeah, so does that mean that they're that far? I just wonder, changing coaches like this constant changing coaches, because they've already, if you use the Devils as an example, they've already done that for 45 years.
Yeah, but we need a significant test.
Did that matter? Did they get anything out of it? Now, what they should have done probably is not hire those guys in the first place. I'm not saying dismissing them was wrong, but it was just this perpetual cycle. You get 5 years, you have one good season, you can't sustain it. I mean, it was you could set your watch by it. And now this dude comes in. I don't know that he would get fired, but everybody wants to win at the highest level. If you don't want to win at the highest level, I don't want you in the first place. And so what's it going to take? The only thing it's going to take in Tempe is money. They sold out every game. They got everything else. They got the weather, blah, blah, blah. It's the money to compete at that level. And if they don't do it, he's gone. And if I were a diehard fan, I wouldn't be objecting, say, what's the point here? Why am I going to invest my money when you're not going to invest your money? I'm out. And if we have more of those fans do that, I wonder if this is just going to be a select few. In 20 years, where is this sport going to be?
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Time for the Slacker Radio headlines. Brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary. Call them at 801-210-6800 or visit their website at trajanwealth.com. We had Eric Kerr on early this morning, the new Weber State football coach, who, and this will perk up the ears of a lot of parents across the state of Utah, thinks there are a lot of overlooked football players who can help him win at Weber State and compete in the Big Sky, which is loaded year after year. At that level, it is an awesome league. Montana State played for the league title, and now they're going to turn around and play in the national semifinals Saturday afternoon. And UC Davis was in the quarterfinals. In other years, they've had 4 or 5 teams in the playoffs. And it wasn't that long ago that Jay Hill had Weber State in the playoffs. And Eric, you can hear the interview wherever you get your podcasts. Go to YouTube, KSLSports.com, wherever. Eric talked at length about his relationship with Jay Hill, how Jay did it, his belief that there's a lot of good high school coaches in Utah who are producing a lot of good high school players who can become good Big Sky players.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. And Weber State has an opportunity to do something really good with Eric, and he has something to prove at this level, because he's proven everything at the high school level 1,000 times over. Yep. And so now get that opportunity to step it up there. And, you can get out-of-state kids, too, offer them these scholarships and they come in. And some of these places in the Big Sky, the more remote areas, well, Ogden is not a remote area, and that could work to their advantage. And to get, man, if somebody had called me, if I was a high school kid or I was a parent of a high school kid and I've got Eric Kerr telling me, I want your son to come play with me, I would drop to my knees and sob. I mean, that would just be awesome. So, and it would be really, really cool to see Weber State do some great things in football like they did with Jay. When Jay took those teams to the playoffs, I watched every game.
Oh, yeah. It was must-see TV.
Yeah.
All sorts of people were talking about it. People who didn't go to Weber State, never talked about Weber State, they were suddenly into it.
Right, because a lot of those kids that go to those types of schools, they're really good players, but they just might not be 6'4".
Right.
But their skill level and their determination and their will to compete is just as good as anybody else's. So you got that going on there. So they deserve that opportunity to play, and that would be really, really cool. And I've known the guy for many years, obviously, and so I'm hoping that he knocks it out of the park. I mean, that's when you know you're getting old, that I have relationships with from BYU to Logan and everything in between.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're tied into 4 schools.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
I know personally. And when you get advanced in this business, it's not necessarily about teams. It's about the individuals that you want to see do well. Yeah. I mean, I got to the point where if it would be NAU versus Weber for the marbles, I'd probably go Weber. I don't know anybody at NAU.
Right. Not anymore. There was a time.
Right, yeah. And they were my classmates. But this guy, I want to see him really take off. And then, so he does it for 5, 6, 7 years and then goes to Logan.
Could happen.
Yeah, judging the time frame.
If Bronco were all done?
Yeah, in his mid to late 60s, maybe he would want to step
Bronco
aside.
decided that's it for me.
Yeah.
Then that would set up.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Jay Hill route, coordinator to another school.
Sure, yeah, because if he does well in 4 and 5 years, well, now you've proven it at 2 levels. It's not a fluke.
Right.
It's about you. You are really good. And I just love the it's hard to call him an underdog, but an out-of-the-box thinking and trying this opportunity here and having someone who is completely local. Because now we got all 4 guys. This is home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they know the state inside and out.
And now, certainly, I would think that would be a factor in the thinking. But there's also a whole logic out there in college football. Like, it is hard. Entertainment's super competitive. So you better play an entertaining style of football. Corner Canyon goes up and down the field and scores a ton of points. And we talked to him about the offense. He said, certainly have a good quarterback. But in the interview, Eric Kerr talks about the run game. The run game's really effective. The passing game feeds off the running game, and we get a lot of big plays. Now, they throw it so well at the high school level, and the quarterbacks have been so accomplished. Of course, everybody's eyes go to that. But he just wanted to underline, like, hey, you got to be good at running the ball. So you hear a little bit of the be physical stuff that we hear from Kyle and everybody who ever coached for Kyle. And he's got a little bit of that, too.
Yeah, well, Corey Canyon has had some great linemen over the years.
They have. They've had a lot of D1 linemen over the years. They've had multiple guys recruited. And so now take that, be entertaining, and maybe put a few more butts in seats. And also the Big Sky, and it's funky, and you brought this up with him, most Big Sky schools are the third team in their state. So when there's a pecking order for talent, Northern Colorado is behind Colorado and Colorado State. Northern Arizona is behind Arizona and Arizona State. Eastern Washington is behind Washington and Washington State. And Idaho's a little different with Idaho and Idaho State. They got two teams at that level, with Boise State obviously getting the best recruits in the state.
Yeah, plus Washington State is on the border.
Yeah, right, yeah. And as is Eastern Washington, right on the border. And then you get to Utah, and you got BYU and Utah State.
I know.
And then you got three Big Sky schools now with the other two coming in. The competition for talent is intense. Are there enough players to go around? And he got into using the transfer portal. You better embrace it. You better tell high school kids, I know you want to go there, but if you go there,
well, he comes in having put guys into the NFL from high school.
That's a different pitch than most coaches get to make.
Yes.
It is. It's a different thing.
Right. So he's developed NFL guys at multiple positions. He certainly has developed Division I high-level guys at multiple positions.
But Montana State tend to get the best players who want to stay in state.
Of course.
And they're in the national semifinals, and it's not an accident. They have the best recruiting pool. They've raised the money. The fan base is into them. Their stadiums are full. How do you compete with that? Throwing the ball around the way Eric Kerr's teams did at Corner Canyon might be a way to compete with that.
Well, yeah.
And Jay Hill's teams went toe-to-toe with them. I mean, they were either league champ or co-league champs 4 years in a row when Jay was there. And he had a couple other teams that went to the NCAA tournament that weren't league champs.
Well, that's a fan base who will come out. If you win, just like most fan bases, they'll get there. What are they, 17,000, 18,000 in that stadium?
They could.
Yeah. And they will, if he wins.
Jay was filling it up as it grew. Mm-hmm. The more they won, the more it grew.
I don't know that I'm ever going to root for a coach the way I'm now going to root for Weber.
Yeah. And you're right. People are already rooting for Jay Hill when he was there.
Yeah.
A guy, and I knew him. Our kids were in school together, and he grew up in San Diego like me. He had no ties to Weber State. And I called him one night about something. What are you doing? He goes, I'm watching Weber State in Maine. He was locked in.
Was that in the playoff?
Yeah, it was a playoff game. Maine
Friday
came
night?
out here, and he was watching. What are you doing? I'm watching Weber State in Maine. The weather looks nasty.
I remember it.
Yeah, he grew up in San Diego, and he was fascinated by it. And he had no ties. So you can get that going.
Yes, I believe they will.
Jay did, and now we'll see if Eric Kerr can do it. Super intriguing. Glad they make the hire. As I said earlier, maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. You never really know with coaching hires, but it is worth giving it a chance.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say it's worth gambling, but I don't feel like it's a gamble. I feel like it's a good bet, but there's no locks.
Well, a good bet is a gamble.
Yeah, okay, you got me there. Gamble usually refers to long shots.
Not necessarily.
No. In my world. That's how I thought of it.
The word bet
does suggest gambling. I got it. Yeah.
Which I never understood people say, hey, can you do this for me? You bet. What do you mean a you bet? What are you talking? That's a dumb response that we hear in Utah. You bet.
That's not just in Utah. I heard that in California.
Yeah, but I'm in Utah.
But it's a dumb response for people who aren't gamblers.
It's like, you bet?
You growing up around gamblers, you like bet, it means one thing.
Right. You bet.
When people say you bet, what they mean is certainly or absolutely.
Yeah,
or of course. Sure.
Yeah. You got it.
You bet.
That might make any sense to me.
Tell me what it is you want, then we'll see.
Dumb
if
response. You bet.
Hey, will you do something for me? Maybe.
You bet. What do you mean? I'm not going to bet. You going to do it for me or not?
Maybe. What is it? Also this morning we talked NBA Cup. It's over. The Knicks have beaten the Spurs. Have those two announced that they are in the hunt to dethrone the Oklahoma City Thunder? There's plenty of scenarios where they could both play the Thunder in the playoffs. That could happen.
What is Wembanyama's health? You know, Big Vic has had some issues here in, 2 of his 3 seasons. They've got an emerging talent, and then they freaking get lucky in the draft. My gosh. Sick of them getting lucky.
1, 2, and 4. They've drafted 3 times in the top 5 as they've rebuilt this team, and that doesn't count the other number 1 picks that you're referencing.
And here, I think the league really needs to take a look at this. They're like ham and egging it. Jump in all the way. If you got the number 1 pick, you can't get it again for 10 years.
You get the number 1 pick and they get hurt. Too bad. You get the number 1 pick in a bad year. Oh, why this year?
Then trade it.
No, I'm not taking that thing. Hot potato.
It's too arbitrary here. And you got guys across the street who breathe and live this 24/7, and then they go in there and the lottery doesn't pay off for them. Now you can argue, they draft friggin' Exum and Cantor. So you got me there. And those were not good draft picks. Exum with the injury and
sure.
Cantor was not taking it seriously, or maybe he just wasn't good enough. I don't know. Either way, it didn't work, right? So what was he taking, 3? And that pick was basically a bomb. That sucked. But I would like to see them do something more to just because the tanking, the Jazz got fined last year $50,000. Does anybody care?
No.
Is it a black mark on the franchise?
Yeah.
No.
Most people would struggle to remember that it even happened.
Right. So put some teeth into these anti-tanking and de-incentivize it rather than have it be incentivized. And I think it's just going to keep going because it seems like, man, this draft is awesome. Now, we've had like multiples.
If you're not in the top third of the league, you're either terrible or, because you're in the bottom third of the league, or you're stuck in the middle. And what a horrible place that is to be. We don't refer to teams that are stuck in the middle in a flattering sense.
No, but I don't think there's many teams stuck in the middle.
Atlanta Hawks, stuck in the middle. Philadelphia 76ers, stuck in the middle. It's probably not 10 teams. It's probably not the middle third of the league isn't all stuck in the middle. I mean, by middle third, the Jazz are almost into the middle third.
Right. So
almost, yeah.
If you are ascending, being in the middle isn't bad.
Phoenix is in the middle third right now. But maybe that's not bad considering what was expected from them.
They haven't had a starting. Their original starting lineup has played 1 game.
The Warriors and Grizzlies are stuck in the middle.
Yeah, but they're on the way down.
They are.
They were up. Now they're on the way down. You're always going to have that. I don't know. Are they stuck?
Well, the only way to get out of the middle for the Warriors is going to be to go to the bottom.
Right. So, but they had a phenomenal run. Every franchise would trade middle to bottom for 4 titles.
Bulls and Bucks, a couple more middle teams.
Yeah, but the Bucks had it too. They won it all. Just because you're in the middle doesn't mean you're stuck.
It's a what have you done for me lately league.
And now go ahead and do some other stuff to make your team better. Yeah, they tried. They got rid of Lillard, they signed Turner from Indiana.
But what they usually do when they try to make it better now is just make it a lot worse.
Well, that's up to the management. That's how competent is your management.
It's not great for the league to have 10 teams scuffling along. A lot of bad product to hide and keep away from network TV.
Sure.
Which every league has. I get it.
You factor in injury, and there's so few players that are really, really good. The league is full of decent players, but it's not, I don't think it's full of crappy players, but it's not full of great elite players. And in this game, with so few numbers, those elite players are the difference makers. So you got to get them. They're just like aces in baseball.
There aren't that many.
You've got to, if you have them, then you are good to go. And then for all of the Dodger money, I mean, Yamamoto was a phenomenal signing.
And you can go right down the Western Conference standings and look at the Stars and see how true that is. Thunder, check. Nuggets, check. Lakers and Spurs are tied for third, check.
Right.
Houston went out and got Durant. He's our leading scorer now. So for now.
Yeah, I mean, he's older.
He is. Timberwolves, Ant-Man, Suns, Booker. Warriors are 8th. Curry. Teams that don't have guys like that, Grizzlies, Jazz, Blazers, Mavericks, Kings, Clippers, Pelicans.
Right. I don't know that anything can be done about that.
Because the world's not creating enough stars. By definition, they separate. And you either have them or you don't.
And I think that's probably been the case throughout league history. So, yeah, the league has certain things that are for it and against it. And this would be against it. If you can get one of those guys, particularly in the case of the Thunder, and you can get him in his early to mid-20s.
Away you go.
Yeah.
DJ and PK, your feedback next. Stay with us.
And now, enough of us. It's time to hear from you. From all your texts, tweets, and posts. This is the best feedback of the day.
Woo! Oh, I was there. It's the best game of my life.
With DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK, it is time for your feedback. What do you have to say about today's show? The Knicks beat the Spurs to win the NBA Cup. What was your interest level? Mark, 0. James, the what? Huh? Anthony was in, though. JC versus Olynyk. Go, Jazz, go. Rooting for former Jazz guys.
Jordan Clarkson versus Kelly Olynyk.
Michelle, who works at Team Mountain West and University of Utah Health. I'm a Spurs fan, and I still didn't care. The NBA is not soccer. This is clearly copying the soccer format.
Well, I think, too, you're looking at a decades and decades and decades long history versus something that has barely started.
Yep.
How do we know what soccer was done back then?
Well, what we do know is it gave little clubs a chance to play big clubs when they weren't in the same league, and the NBA doesn't have that. There aren't little professional teams that get a chance to measure themselves, nor is it a game that really lends itself to that. Hey-oh. Yeah, put the Marriott Center in the NBA Cup. Let's see what... Put these college teams in that tournament, it would have more interest. Let's go.
The kind of cash that they're paying out, just ask the Pacific AD.
Oh, that got some comments, didn't it? And he went back to Twitter a couple hours later. Did you see that one?
He deleted it, or did he go back?
He did. So first the UOP, the Pacific AD, tough one for at Pacific Men's BB tonight. Good scheduling lesson for the future in this funny money age we're in. No point in playing this game at all. You're not even playing a basketball team, just walking bags of cash. Okay, he deletes that, and about 2 hours later, fair enough, BYU fans, I'll call mercy. My tongue-in-cheek tweet was not meant to offend. You all are a beast, and credit where credit is due. Simple economic realities of playing any top 10 team is something I think all of D1 has to contend with, considering scheduling moving forward.
Well, you didn't know that?
I totally agree with that. This is who BYU's been for 2 years. How long ago did you sign this game? Basketball isn't scheduled 4 years out like football.
Right.
I mean, football, BYU's now got a hole in the schedule next year. It's a problem. They're probably going to have a terrible non-league schedule. Maybe they'll find a good game, but the odds are stacked against them.
The bags of cash? Yeah. Isn't that why you scheduled the game?
Yes, to get your bags of cash.
Yeah.
You just don't want bags of cash for the players. It's absolutely a money game. There's no chance that there's a return game at the Spanos Center.
No.
What?
A BYU basketball team will never set foot in that arena again.
They ended that when they left the West Coast Conference.
Right.
Don't go to Stockton to play. There's no point.
Yes. And maybe a kid slipped through the cracks, but there's no way, DeBonza, you didn't know about that. He goes on ESPN to announce his decision. Right. Everybody in the world knew about that who follows college basketball. This kid is going to BYU. So you got your butts kicked, and you got your money, and you go on your way. So what? What difference does it make?
DJ PK, we're all done. Jake and Ben are next right here in the zone.